energy. Open your arms of love. Sorrows will be far away. Lighting of kindness will be lost to the shores of joy. Keep a strong belief to be in light tomorrow. Our loving hope is the future ways. Kindness builds the nation. Fighting ourselves, fighting our rules, sharing the words of blood. Open your heart, join in the beat, unite the energies of love. We welcome new energy. Open your arms of love. Sorrows will be far away. Lighting of kindness will bring us to the shores of joy. Keep a strong belief to be in light tomorrow. Future ways, kindness builds the nation. Fighting ourselves, fighting our rules, sharing the words of love. Open your heart, join in the beat, unite the energies of
Welcome everyone to NLG, Energy Source Global Class Level 1, Session 1, conducted in English. My name is Isabella and I'm delighted to host this wonderful class event for all of you. I hope that you're having a great day and that you are excited for this class session. Now, if this is your first time here at NLG or the first time you attend Level 1, I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to NLG. I hope that you persist with your study and your practice to understand what NLG is about, and from there get to enjoy the great benefits that it brings. So if this is your first time taking Level 1, please pay close attention to all parts of the session and follow the instructions that we give you. For those of you who are currently in Level 1, so meaning you have already done it, but you have not proceeded to a high class level and would like to retake this class, then that is totally fine to do so. If you have already done Level 1 before and you are now in a higher class level, for example, Level 2, Level 3, or Level 4, then feel free to listen to the content, but please don't receive any activation during this session. If you're just here to listen and give us support, then thank you for your ongoing support, your love, and your enthusiasm. I'd like to give you some basic information about Level 1 before we start. So Level 1 consists of 2 sessions. Today is Session 1. If you are interested in taking this class, then make sure that you come back in tomorrow for Session 2, because you are required to complete both sessions fully to be considered as having completed level 1. So keep in mind that there are 3 important parts to our class. So the teaching content, the energy activation, and the Q&A, where questions will be asked and answers upon your request. I hope that you remain attentive throughout the entire session and try to make the most out of this. Despite having class at this time, which is a little different from previous live stream, just note that Mr. Lee will still join us like usual for the daily energy transmission at the set time, which is 8 a.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Vietnam time, or in other words, it's 5 p.m. CET. So before we start, please allow me to translate this briefly to Vietnamese so that our Vietnamese viewer actually know what is going on for today's live stream. Tôi xin gửi lời chào tới các quý cô bác anh chị đang theo dõi chương trình livestream của Nlg Energy Source Global. Trong những ngày vừa qua thì các MC cũng đã gửi thông báo tới cho các quý cô bác anh chị về việc chúng ta có lớp 1 tiếng Anh được dạy vào ngày 12 và 13 tháng 8. Theo khung giờ ở Việt Nam sẽ là 9 rưỡi tối, thay thế cho chương trình của khách mời. Có nghĩa là thay vì chúng ta nghe những câu chuyện của các khách mời, những câu chuyện về chữa lành, thì ngày hôm nay chúng ta sẽ được nghe chương trình giảng dạy lớp 1 của tiếng Anh. Trong chương trình này thì tiếng Anh sẽ được sử dụng xuyên suốt để phục vụ cho các quý cô bác anh chị nước ngoài hoặc những quý cô bác anh chị thông thạo và hiểu hơn khi nghe ngôn ngữ tiếng Anh. Vậy nên Kiều Anh mong rằng các quý cô bác anh chị hãy cùng hoan hỉ gửi lời chào và lời chúc tới các học viên nước ngoài của chúng ta để chúng ta có một buổi học được thành công tốt đẹp. Như thường lệ thì chú Phúc vẫn sẽ gửi năng lượng an lành tới cho các quý cô bác anh chị vào khung giờ như mọi ngày. Đó là 8 giờ sáng và 8 giờ tối theo giờ Pacific, có nghĩa là 8 giờ sáng và 8 giờ tối giờ Việt Nam và 5 giờ sáng và 5 giờ chiều ở châu Âu. Bây giờ thì Kiều Anh xin được tiếp tục trở lại với chương trình lớp 1 tiếng Anh ạ. Okay, so joining us today in Level 1 Session 1 English, we have our Energy Founder, Mr. Phúc Lê, our English instructor, Mr. Ray Selwitz, and a very important member of our team who has been giving support through and through, Ms. Quyên Nguyễn. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Mr. Phúc Lê, our NLG founder, to share a few words before we dive into session 1 of level 1.
Hello, xin chào Isabella. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to all of you to the Energy New Era, Cosmic Divine Light. First of all, I would like to thank all of the servant brothers and sisters who have accompanied to developing the subject to the world community. In a short time, the number of participants has surpassed to over 1 million people. Continue to support our community service. Today, we would like to introduce to you a new instructor, Mr. Ray Sawyer and Mrs. Nguyen. Hello.
Hello there. Morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, everywhere. My name is Quyên Nguyễn. I'm a member of NLG Global, the board director. It is my honor and pleasure to represent the board directors of NLG Global to introduce to you our new instructor today, Mr. Ray Saward. I would like to take a moment to say something about Mr. Saward. On the personal level, we have been friends for over 30 years, family friends, business friends, and especially friends on charity. Mr. Saward was born in California, Vallejo, Solano County. He lived his entire life in California. He received his education in California, business in major, then later joined the law school. The interesting thing is, under the family name is Saward, there's 2 more attorneys. The first one is the first son. The first one is the father, Mr. Ray Saward. The next one is his eldest son, Benjamin Saward, very well known for corporate attorney. And the last one is Julie Saward, which is his youngest daughter. The rest of his children are also professionals in different fields. So they got a handful of professionals in the family that can support us. And there is a support that NLG Global have with the local community in California, just through Mr. Saward along with other judges and especially community leaders. Mr. Sowers is a trust and estate planning attorney. He specializes in helping the elderly population in the Bay Area at this time because we are going into the time of semi-retire. Half of his time he devotes for Nlg Global, which is helping all of us. He's very well known and respected in the Vietnamese community, as well as France, and especially the local community, for his active involvement in charitable services. As an incredible optimist, a true believer in second chance, and a genuine advocate for the disadvantaged people, Peter Sowers has devoted his entire life working with different nonprofit foundations, charities, and community leaders as a donor, charitable event co-organizer, or an inspirational speaker, sharing his thought-provoking, inspiring, interactive, and always delightful insights with audiences in all backgrounds. Above all, his passion lies in helping others to find and treat their inner delight and lead with the values to transform people's life and experiences of adversities into positive opportunities to reach the higher purpose. This belief had brought him to be a part of Nlg Global since February the 6th. At the very beginning of Nlg Global, he has served until today as our legal consultant for the board directors of Nlg Global. On behalf of the English-speaking community of Nlg members, we welcome Mr. Sowers and thank you for accepting our request to be the instructor of Nlg Class 1 and 2 from today on. At the very last minute, Mr. Sowers, you taught me at the time I was a student that you are born ready. Please welcome Mr. Sowers, ready for anything.
Well, thank you very much for such a warm introduction. And I will tell everybody, I'm very humbled to be here today. And I feel a great sense of responsibility. But I will also let you know that this is my first time instructing the class. And I think that probably you'll notice that I will make my mistakes. They are not intentional. But I feel blessed to be a part of this organization for the tremendous mission that it was taken on. And that I know that as we go into the program, if you participate the way that you are instructed, you will be the beneficiary of the wonderful things that are in store for you. So now, today we're going to start the Nlg Class Level 1 of New Era Cosmic Divine Light. And first of all, I want to give a general explanation of the organization's name and activities. And the question is asked, what is NLG Energy Source Global? NLG stands for Energy Source in Vietnam, which is the mother language of the founder, Mr. Phuc Le. The word NLG is used to facilitate the international community's easy pronunciation while also preserving and honoring the source of origin of the founder and the history of NLG. NLG Energy Source Global, it explains the global scope of our organization. NLG Energy Source isn't the same as any ordinary source of energy. It's the unique knowledge and the methods passed on to mankind from the divine civilization and higher realms. Mr. Phuc Le, founder of NLG Global, is the only person on earth that was selected and initiated to receive the sacred energy and knowledge. His mission is to help mankind by transmitting it to all the earthly beings. The sacred energy already exists in the universe and enough for all of us and other beings to use for our daily living as well as project development. Next, let us look further into reality and have a proper understanding of our situation as humanity on planet Earth. During the past 1,000 years, humanity has undergone many evolutionary transformations, and in this cycle, humanity has faced a lot of suffering in all areas, from the individuals to the social community. Today, I am very pleased to inform you that we are entering a new cycle in which the role and contribution of NLG is very important. It is the cycle of the earth entering the new era of cosmic divine light. Through NLG's method, we have discovered and deepened understanding of this energy source to add to our lives, to understand its potential and value so we can use it to promote energy. This is to increase the intellectual level. From there, we can meet the actual requirements that bring true happiness in all areas of human life on this planet. Here, NLG is not interested in understanding the history or the theory of this readily available miracle energy. Our aim is to focus on the immediate application of rapidly effective techniques and concrete practical benefits into the daily lives of the members as well as the activities of the whole world. The design of humans is the magical work as well as the source of their creative energy. Therefore, NLG is an organization with spiritual elements to realize the specific results. When it comes to spirituality, many people misunderstand that it is religion. Our NLG policy is non-religious or political. Spirituality here means divine magical power invisible to the naked eye. But it is invisible energy that controls the visible world. According to the basic convention, the human body is the body with the ability to stay healthy, with longevity, and the capacity of the human brain is limitless. NLG applies the method of activating and upgrading brain cells and stem cells to fulfill mankind's needs and aspirations. Now, I believe we're going to have a daily transmission here. I think it's at this point.
No, it's only 7:46. So we
Okay.
still have time to go over the logos.
Let me go over the slides then. Starting with our class presentation, everyone, I have a number of slides that I want to go over with you for this class today as well as tomorrow. First of all, I would like to request the technical team give us slide 1.
Mr. Sauer, this is a slide that the same as the slide 1, but it's clearer, so we can use this one.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you for that clarification.
You're very welcome.
We're looking at the logos of NLG on the screen. Let's take a look at the process of human life on Earth. Over 1,000 years, humanity has undergone many changes to evolve to the present day. Sadly, humans have always had to deal with many disasters and suffering in the process. Today, the Earth and humanity are entering a new evolutionary cycle of the new era cosmic divine light, as you see in the logo on the screen in front of you. This is the period that many ancient prophets have talked about, the golden age, when people will live in peace, happiness, prosperity, health, and long life due to their own superior wisdom, will guide and help mankind to realize and enjoy. But how to get the great elements of the golden age? While we are facing many dilemmas, including the possibility of catastrophic discussion of humanity today. That's why NLG was born. NLG is the response to this aspiration and need. Now we want to go back to this logo and look at this, and on the banner, on the top of the banner, well, I should say that the left logo represents NLG's mission and objectives. And then on the top of the banner, you see cosmic divine light. Its meaning of this new era, as said earlier, the colors of these letters in pinkish orange, representing happiness and abundance. At the bottom of the outer area of the banner, you see from left to right, vitality, youthful, longevity. All of the letters are in green, representing the lively energy that NLG brings for and to mankind. In the middle of the inner circle, you will notice there's an image of a house with a family, with mom and dad holding the hands of one son on the left and one daughter on the right. This is the image representing the happy outcome that we can achieve by practicing NLG. With knowledge of sacred and superior method, NLG guides and prepares couples to produce intelligent and healthy children for the future, as well as healing our illnesses and enhance our living conditions to achieve a happy outcome, to have a family with good health, happiness, and prosperity. Around this happy family image, you will see land and trees with colors light brown and green that represent the abundance of the earth. In the middle and concerning the images of the inner ring is the blue represents the ocean. The actual meaning of it eventually, instead of spreading in many continents and many languages, humankind will reunite together as one continent and one big family on the planet Earth. On the context of this brief introduction, I want to share with you a great news of NLG knowledge and teaching methods. Provide us with the solution to improve and enhance all areas of development, such as agriculture, forestry, and fishery. Benefits from practicing NLG correctly are beyond imagination. Thousands of people out there are the undeniable living testimonies. You can see how lucky we are. Take a look at the outer ring of this logo. You see the line, the new era of wisdom, love, peace. These words speak for themselves. With the activation and increasing the frequency of our brain and stem cells, human beings will improve our level of understanding and wisdom. From there, we combine with the essential practice of the universe that bases on love and morality, in which we discuss in detail later on. At the bottom of the inner circle, there are 13 rays. The first 12 rays represent the 12 months of the year. And the last one, the 13th, represents the high civilization of the divine multi-dimensional realm. The meaning of these 13 rays in the image of vibrational wave is that we are now guided by a sacred wisdom from high civilization of divine realm. Though Mr. Fook Lee's teaching of NLG sacred knowledge and method we will be able to reach our goal of true happiness and success in every aspect of life. At the bottom of the outer banner is the unify, love, happiness, enhancement. As said earlier, the essential keys to success in practice in NLG methods are based on these two elements, the 5 forms of love and morality. Only when humankind understands and practices sincerely the 5 forms of love and morality, then as a result, they will enjoy the enhancement of true happiness. On the right logo, originally it was called Trudong logo. It was the name of the ancient drum in old time Vietnam. Just like many other world ancient civilization, the face of the Vietnamese ancient drum has several mystical designs that consist of hidden sacred meaning and continues to be the subject of discussion for many international scholars for thousands of years until recently. On February 6, 2022, it was decoded by Mr. Phuc Lee. It is the NLG logo represents the spiritual element of cosmic divine light, or the sacred knowledge and energy that are granted to mankind so we can achieve our true happiness through the teachings of Mr. Phuc Lee with NLG methods. We are living in the universe of energy. Even our existence and activities are from 5 sources of energy. Talk about the NLG energy, we are talking about the sacred source that provides life for beings on Earth. This energy includes the oxygen that we are breathing in every day to stay alive and exist naturally in the universe. It has boundless potentials. So far, our Earth scientists have discovered only a very small portion of it. Therefore, scientists have been complaints about short of energy for human development. In reality, there's enough energy for all beings, including any and all projects that we wish to accomplish. The true happiness that we are talking here is the everlasting happiness that can only be achieved by applying the universe essential keys of success from the practice of 5 forms of love and morality. Through all that human beings will merge into a common denominator, and the same goal is to bring happiness. There would be no judgment of one another. Humankind can live together in peace and harmony without the unnecessary existence of hatred, jealousy, or discrimination of any kind. Together, we will build a planet where everyone is healthy and everyone is happy. It is you who have been and will be the ones who continue the mission of spreading love to everyone around you, like the NLG members before us have done so.
Excuse me,
you,
I think this is the time for the MC.
Thank you, Mr. Sowards. So now it's time for us to receive the daily healing energy from Mr. Lee. So we would pause our class for a couple of minutes so that we can receive that energy from Mr. Lee, and then afterwards Mr. Sowards will come back to present more interesting content for everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, so now I would like to share with you the energy transmission video.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our NLG live stream. Mr. Lee would like to send the NLG energy to the beloved audience. When he says start, please look into the middle of his forehead and imagine you are receiving NLG into your forehead. Then just relax and let this loving energy absorb to your body for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. until Mr. Lee says done.
Trong sự kiện hợp nhất tình thương kiến tạo hạnh phúc của Nlg, mời quý cô bác anh chị cùng đón nhận những năng lượng an lành từ chú Phúc. Khi chú Phúc nói bắt đầu, quý cô bác anh chị nhìn vào trán của chú Phúc, hình dung nhận năng lượng từ trán của chú vào trán của quý cô bác anh chị và để năng lượng tự lan tỏa cho đến khi chú Phúc thông báo hết giờ.
Okay, everyone, so that is the instruction video on how to receive the daily healing energy from Mr. Lei. Now, just to clarify for everyone who are new to NLG and who are here for level 1, this is not part of level 1. This is more a general healing session that would benefit people of all ages. So while you receive this healing energy, you don't need to perform any formula. You just need to follow the instruction in the video that I show you. And the key is to focus. Try to focus and still relax, but pay attention to your and don't let your mind wander somewhere else. So basically keep yourself in a mindful state. Give yourself, the body and the cells in your body the opportunity to accept this loving and healing energy from Mr. Lei. Dạ, kính thưa các quý cô bác anh chị, chúng ta cũng sắp tới thời gian nhận năng lượng từ chú Phúc rồi. Các anh xin mời các quý cô bác anh chị cùng thả lỏng để chúng ta sẽ ngay bây giờ sẽ được nhận năng lượng an lành từ chú ạ. Dạ vâng, con mời chú ạ.
Okay, I'm ready. Xin chào tất cả anh chị em và bây giờ chúng ta bắt đầu đón nhận phần năng lượng hỗ trợ chữa lành. Okay. Isabella, ready?
Yep, we will start now.
Yeah. Okay, we begin now.
And time is up. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Back to Isabella.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lee. All right, so before we continue with our class content, I do have something for everyone. So these are the QR code for our Energy Global channel and the NLG level 1 and 2 group. So on the left-hand side, you will see our NLG Global Channel Telegram group. That's where you will get all of the announcements from NLG. And then if you scan the one on the right, you will receive information formulas. And there you can also ask questions for those who have completed level 1 and 2. So later on, I will share this again so everyone can be clear and can join. Okay, so now I would like to invite our instructor, Mr. Zelwitz, to continue with our class.
Thank you very much. I would ask that the technical team start with slide 2. As I said earlier, we are entering into this era of cosmic divine light. And as I'm looking right now, technical team, for slide 3, and so we can produce that. And slide 3 will help us elaborate any more of the things that that we need to do as we have this source of energy. And certainly our goal is to reach any corner of the earth and all continents. Therefore, we need your support in spreading NLG opportunity through your own connection, whether it is international or local. By doing so, you are helping NLG share the opportunity and at the same time helping betterment of mankind. And this will help to build a collective, positive, healthy, and successful and harmonic community on the planet Earth. As we talk about the NL energy source, as I've said above, this source of energy already exists on the space, and we are taking it daily without even noticing about it. As we're receiving the NLG source, the practice of receiving the energy source, as you will be guided later on with proper formulas, will bring a great impact and enhancement for the health and life of the practitioner, his loved ones, the community around him, and the entire humanity. The benefits of NLG, I can't explain the great impact and benefits that NLG has brought to literally many thousands of people from all walks of life in all countries throughout the world. Many people have chronic or even critical illnesses that have been cured or improved after a period of practicing NLG methods, receiving support from NLG community and daily healing energy transmission from Mr. Phuc Lee. By practicing sincerely and successfully the 5 forms of love and morality, one's life would be much happier and more successful. He or she will experience true happiness, and with more love, appreciation, and respect from people around him for the loving and kindness that he spreads and shares with others. Now, I think it's also important to note that NLG will solve 3 problems for humanity. And it relates to health, poverty, and the resolution of conflicts. And when this becomes active in your life, now, when you join the class, you will be taught by an instructor who will act as the technician to activate and increase energy frequency for all the attending students. However, it's most important thing that you need to practice by yourself in accordance with the formula of your class. Remember that if you follow the instructions and the formula for your class level and practice successfully as you are guided, you will have the necessary energy to increase your wisdom, improve your own health, help in the healing of your family members or others, and accomplish your projects and your wishes. NLG motto for successful practice is correct, enough, consistence. Now, if the technical team has, we talked about some of the things for problems of humanity. We're talking about wars and conflicts. We're talking about poverty and hunger. We're talking about illnesses and diseases. These are the three problems for humanity. Now, if you stop and you think, if you possess this NLG power, you have the ability to cure these diseases, to do away with war. Thousands of living testimonies around the world speak for the outstanding successful result of NLG knowledge and methods in healing world illnesses and diseases, included COVID in recent individual and group activities. As it relates to poverty and hunger, there are numerous pilot tests in agriculture, forestry, and fishery have proved that NLG methods can increase and enhance significantly the yield and quality of food planting while saving tremendous costs from paid energy by applying and using our natural and free resource of energy. When we talk about wars and conflicts of wars, the 5 forms of love and morality can change the course of the current global conflict. Now, let me make a couple comments when it comes to wars. You see, it is not the people that cause the wars, but rather governments that are not doing right, governments that are not helped by NLG. The biggest problem that I can see is that governments want power. And with that power, they want to control us. They want more power, they want more money, they want more control. But we as humankind, we realize that we want our freedom. We want our freedom to think. We want our freedom to be able to love, to be able to bring good things about. Many times, these governments are so powerful, they oppress us as individuals. I refer to that in my own terms as a case of what I refer to as unrighteous dominion. And what they do is totally incorrect. And NLG, if exercised properly and through the populations of those countries, will even have the ability to change that government for good and get these kinds of conflicts out of the way. Now, I'd like to turn, if I can, I think it's the technical team, to slide 5, where we're talking about the NLG cosmic light. The NLG cosmic divine light contains the code to unlock new knowledge to access the infinite energy source of the universe. This source of energy supports the development of humanity for an unlimited period and enough for all living things on Earth to flourish. As I go to slide 6, to receive the NL energy source, we talk about the neurons. NLG transfers the energy source to the nervous system and the entire body instantly. NLG energy source affects 100% of the stem cells in our body, to help your body develop comprehensively in terms of physical health, intelligence, and superior evolution of consciousness. Now, as to the stem cells are the body's raw material. It is the mother cell to form specialized tissues and forms various body cells to perform functions such as the nervous system, respiratory system, nervous system, etc. Stem cells are the nucleus that gives life to every human body. And if you look at the visual over on the right, you'll see that NLG brings the NLG energy source down to the central nervous system, including the brain and down through the spine that you will learn. Now, turning to slide 7, we have the 5 forms of love, and they are as follows. Self-love. If you love yourself, you can love everybody else. So we have self-love. We have love for the family, love for the country, love for mankind, and love for all living things. That is the 5 forms of love. And you have to accomplish the 5 forms of love with morality. And it has to do with our daily conduct. For instance, in being honest with everybody we deal with and having integrity. Without it, you will never be successful. In the practice of NLG or any aspect of life, you have to understand that this is the universal natural laws of cause and effect. As Jesus said, reap what you sow. And as Buddha said, the law of karma is infallible. You cannot cheat. You cannot steal. You cannot do wrong to others. Even if you may cheat another human, but you can never cheat your own karma. So please be mindful of that. It's so easy to do. It's the easiest thing that you can do is to incorporate the 5 forms of love and morality in your life because it betters your life and doesn't cost you a thing. Now, let me turn to slide 8 as we talk about the frequency, +1, -1. The frequency +1 or -1 of an NLG practitioner is the same as that as the Creator's love. Our Creator continually and continuously transmits his love energy. To receive this energy, you'll need to have enough wisdom to understand the non-dualistic nature of all happenings, neither bad nor good, neither happy nor unhappy, neither love nor hatred. It all depends on your way of looking at things. You'll need to leave your personal preference and personal emotion to embark upon the soul journey of love. Now, let me take a look here. I think at slide 8. It's actually slide 9. It's the chicken and egg, and it's a wonderful demonstration of the things that you need to know. Here you see the image of a mother hen incubating eggs to hatch into chicks. In order for her eggs to hatch, the mother hen will have to incubate continuously for 21 days. If the time is shorter, it will not hatch, and incubating longer will sometimes fail. To be effective, sufficient time and heat are required. Heat is the body of the hen. She sits on the egg as the incubation is to create the heat for the eggs to be matured. Later, for industrial chickens, people have to adjust to the temperature by light bulbs. Similarly, when we learn and practice NLG formula, we are like the mother hen, and our cells are like eggs. We want it to be matured properly to become a beautiful chick. We need to follow the instructions exactly. That is how the formula is written. It will be done exactly the same. We must strictly follow the details of the formula's instruction, practice enough time according to that formula, and must practice regularly every day.
So we're supposed to stop here to have a break, but Mr. Soward would like to say some more about the chicken and egg, or I would like to step in to talk a little more about the frequency of +1, -1, because somebody just sent a question. So Mr. Soward, may I have your permission for me to bring in some additional information?
You certainly do.
Thank you so much. So everyone, talking about the frequency of +1 and -1, I would take myself as an example. Usually when we get upset, somebody would tell us, take a deep breath, pause, and relax. So when we do meditation, it is a frequency when we feel so peaceful and relaxed. But in NLG, Mr. Fugler taught me something very easy and simple. Number one, the frequency +1 and -1 is the one that already exists in the universe. It is the existence frequency that can bring us and enhance us to a higher level that improve our health. So he told me, and actually he told everybody in the class, and I learned it from class 3. He said, okay, all you have to do is start with somebody you love. The thing about the whole universe is full of love. And you yourself, when you think about something positive and love, automatically you put yourself in a frequency of +1, -1, because at that moment you feel so peaceful and you cannot think about anything that upsets you. You cannot hurt your heart, because when you're angry, you're actually hurting yourself, increasing your high blood pressure. So in class 3, we all got the chance to practice that. Think about something joyful, think about what we can do for others, and think about the love that we have been receiving from the universe, from other people, from our mom and dad, from our children and friends, and the whole community supporting us. And at the same time, think about the boundless love, the compassionate love that we can send to people. I just want to take a moment to support Mr. Soward by bringing in my own experience for the frequency of +1 and -1. Once we tune in that frequency, a lot of magic will happen. It makes ourselves happier, healthier, but with that frequency, we receive the divine blessing. When I say divine blessing, it's not like anything like religious blessing, but it's actually the divine blessing of tuning in the energy of boundless support and potential that already exists in the universe. So next to us is our friends and family who would receive benefit from having a kind and loving person. And at the same time, we continue to contribute to our community by collectively create a positive and loving community. Thank you very much. I think it's about time for Isabella.
Thank you, Mr. Sowitz and Ms. Gwynwyn. So are we ready now for a break, do you think, or would you like to elaborate a little bit more on the content?
I would like to make a couple statements, Isabella, if I can.
Yes, please.
What I want to say is to everyone out there, what's important as you receive this energy is to pay very close attention and to concentrate. I think it's sometimes you might even think it's hard work, and it can be, because it really requires clearing of your mind, things, and we have our minds of, might be a mother thinking about her children or child's day at school, or might be thinking of things for the next dinner. try, if you may, to set those kinds of thoughts aside and clear your mind and concentrate this way. You know, like little boys in particular, little girls are pretty feminine. I don't see them doing much of this, but little boys will have a tendency to play with a magnifying glass. And they put the sun through that magnifying glass, and that ray of sunlight focuses very hard and it will burn things. And little boys are little boys, and sometimes they'll go around and they'll burn pieces of wood, or they'll even burn insects. Well, that might not be the nicest thought, but that does provide you with what I'm trying to say, the concentration that I would very much love to see you develop as you think about this energy that comes into your life, and your ability to likewise radiate that energy outward to your family members and mankind with the love that it takes, and doing the right things. When we talk about morality, it's doing the right things for the right reasons to benefit men. And you find that if you will do that, you will create wonderful karma. And as I said earlier, Buddha will not allow you to escape karma. And that's why it's so important to always be your best, to do the best, to clear your mind, to be calm, to learn to sometimes control your reactions to situations, because in essence, sometimes that's one of the few things that we can control. With that in mind, do you realize that your ability to pass these vibrations on to family members has a curative and a healing effect as to illness, as to spiritual sadness, as to abundance and prosperity? As we've stated, your brain is basically limitless. And if you use these energy techniques, you will find that many of the problems that you have can be answered in your own mind by bringing this energy into your body and thinking about these things. And, you know, one of the secrets to happiness, at least in my life, speaking for me, I simply say, if you want to be happy, make other people happy. And NLG energy does just that if you're practicing it correctly. You see, you lose yourself. And when you're serving people by making them happy, you're making yourself happy. And you experience that self-love of what we're talking about in the 5 forms of love. Now, Isabella, back to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Saleh. So before we take a break for about 10 minutes, I do like to share a little bit. Is that as someone who practices NLG myself, and I'm very lucky to get to level 4, I was once a very hot-headed person. And it's very sad that in our world, in our society, we often normalize being not +1, -1. We think it's normal to do so, meaning taking revenge, or we feel it's okay and justify for getting back at people, do very mean things, say very mean things to people. And a lot of the time we try to justify for that, saying, well, because he or she did the things that they did. So that's why that explains my response, my behavior. But here, I guess at NLG, when we understand the +1, -1 frequency, we will gradually learn to instead normalize the +1, -1 frequency, instead of try to entertain the ideas of not being in that frequency and try to justify for behaviors that are not very nice to other people. Okay, so now we'd like to invite everyone to take a 10 minutes break. Please be back here before the 10 minutes mark goes, just so that when our class resumes, everyone is here and ready for the second half of our class, which contains the brain cells activation and the practice formula, which is a very, very essential parts of level 1 class. So during this break, we will put on some music for everyone, and we will see you back here after 10 minutes.
Thank you, Isabella.
continue, construire la nation, se retrouver ses racines, partager les mots de l'amour, ouvrir vos cœurs, charmer vos vies, unissez l'énergie de l'amour. Voici le Christ célèbre, nous accueillons la nouvelle énergie, nouvelle trace d'amour, laisse aller le charme de l'amertume. En nous, la bonté, nous mènerons mourir sur la joie, garder la foi pour illuminer un demain. Notre foyer mort, tomber à l'avenir, relier ce continu, construire la nation, se retrouver ses racines, partager les mots de l'amour, ouvrir vos cœurs, charmer vos vies, unissez l'énergie de l'amour.
Ngày con sinh ra đời, có vòng tay mẹ yêu, có lời ru ơi, chờ che con hôm sớm. Mẹ ơi, năm tháng trôi, từng đêm dài vất vả, âu lo lúc nắng mưa, mong con được yên bình. Lòng mẹ bao lo biển kia đâu xanh, thương con mẹ lưng còng qua những gian lao, mỗi bước đời con dù qua bao sông suối vẫn muốn quay về, níu lại tuổi thơ, ôm lấy vai gầy của mẹ, mẹ ơi. Ngày con sinh ra đời, có vòng tay mẹ yêu, có lời ru ơi, chờ che con hôm sớm. Mẹ ơi, năm tháng trôi, từng đêm dài vất vả, âu lo lúc nắng mưa, mong con được yên bình. đầu xanh, thương con mẹ lưng còng qua những gian lao mỗi bước đời con. Dù qua bao sóng gió vẫn muốn quay về níu lại tuổi thơ, ôm lấy vai gầy của mẹ
Okay, welcome back everyone. We will now resume with our level 1, session 1. As I said early on, the second part of the class is really important because
Welcome back everyone. We will now resume with
getting past all of the theories that we just heard from our wonderful instructor, we will now get into the actual activation and the formula. So remember that I said earlier that there are 3 important parts for our class: the teaching content, the energy activation, and the Q&A session. So this is the part where we will do energy activation. Okay, so now we'll get ready to receive the brain cells activation, and we can imagine our instructor, Mr. Soward's, like an antenna that transmit energy to everyone, no matter where you are in the world. It still works. And I will show you a little illustration so that you understand exactly how this works. All right, so what you do is that you look at Mr. Soward's forehead and imagine continuously receiving the energy activation into yours, as you can see here in the illustration on the screen. So this process is enabled when both the instructor and the student are on board with what they're doing, that is Mr. Selwood transmitting this energy to you, and then you as the student receive it in a focused manner. This is the energy source that's suitable to activate your brain for it to develop and optimize its capacity. It is the language of the brain, of the cells in your body. So during this 1 minute and 30 seconds of brain cells activation, please keep your eyes open so that you are fully aware of what you're required to do. Despite everything else happening around you, you remain in a mindful state with throughout this activation. You maintain the understanding that you are receiving the energy source to activate your brain. And during this activation, it is very, very important that you imagine continuously receiving energy from our instructor's forehead into yours. Now, on the opposite, if your mind is somewhere else and that you refuse to accept this energy, then of course that won't work and you won't be able to receive this energy source. And when the energy goes in, you may feel warm sensation or a little numb or tense around your head or your forehead. Perhaps you might experience a light headache, but don't stress about it. That is the sign that you received the energy from the activation. If there are any students in here due to a health issues and you cannot sit to receive the activation, then don't worry, you can still participate while lying down. But please don't stand up or walk around or try to do something else in the middle of this. Also, anyone who is already in a higher class level, for example, level 2 and above, please do look away, don't receive this activation. This is for those who are here for level 1. And please receive this activation in a mindful state. Sau đây là phần kích hoạt tế bào não của lớp 1 tiếng Anh. Kiều Anh xin mời các quý cô bác anh chị nào. Chúng ta đã học từ lớp 2 trở lên rồi thì chúng ta sẽ chỉ dự thính mà thôi chứ không nhận phần kích hoạt này ạ. Okay, so now I'd like to invite our instructor to send the level 1 student the brain cells activation for 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Can you give him the time when you say
Yes.
cue? Mr. Sowers, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so I have 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock here whenever you're ready. And time it's up. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Selitz, for the brain cells activation. All right, so everyone, now you are ready for your first practice of the brain cells activation formula. I will guide you through the formula and we will do this together in class for you to have a better understanding of how to approach it later when you are by yourself. So I will show you the formula right now. All right, so when you finish accepting or receiving that activation just now, that means that you are now eligible to use this formula. Okay, so with this formula, now when you practice, you can read these steps silently in your head. In other words, you use your inner voice. So you can see here, step 1, it said, receive NLG Cosmic Divine Line New Era, level 1, brain cell activation. Now you can think about this. So you read this part once in your head, and you can think about this as the command for what will then follows. It's like saying the right password to enable the right task to happen. So it is very important that you get this step 1 correct. Then in step 2, receive energy into the brain. And just note that we will receive 3 times. So you can see on the screen here, first time, second time, third time. We will give ourselves 3 to 5 seconds each time. And what it means is that you use your thoughts and you visualize the action of receiving energy from the outer space into the brain. Okay, and I repeat that again. You receive energy from outer space to enter your brain. In step 3, that's when you send energy from the brain into the ERC. Again, you send it 3 times, first time, second time, and third time. You give yourself 3 to 5 seconds each time. Now, the ERC, if you have a look on the screen here, the ERC, if you see the little blue arrow on the screen, it is this part here with the little circle that looks like a little sun here. It is basically the area at the nape, so the back of your neck. That is called the ERC, or the Energy Reception Center. So in step 3, you will imagine the energy going from your brain into the ERC. And with this send first time, second time, and third time, that is what you're going to think in your head. So you use your inner voice. And then in step 4, continuously maintain and support energy into the ERC. Let the warmth of energy spread on its own until the alarm rings. Now, on this formula, you will see that there's the practice duration according to age group here. And I imagine most of us here are above 18 years old, so we will try our first practice together in class for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. And I hope that is all clear for everyone. So basically what I'll do is that I will read out this formula for you while we practice. You will have your eyes open throughout the entire practice. And yes, you can blink because it's 5 minutes and 30 seconds. So you can blink if you need to. I will put this formula up on the screen like this, and I will read it out and you can follow and you can understand the pace, particularly in terms of the timing. So I suppose Mr. Sowitz will join us for these 5 minutes and 30 seconds, but he will have his eyes closed. And once we get to step 4, where basically it's what you do. So you continuously maintain and support energy into the ERC. That's when I will turn this formula off, and then what you see on the screen, it's Mr. Sowitz with his eyes closed. That doesn't affect anything. Just focus on your own support of the energy into the ERC. Okay. So we will do this for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. We will practice together, everyone. So Mr. Sowitz, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, beautiful. And we will start now, everyone. So remember to use your inner voice and follow my guide. Okay, so we will start now. Receive NLG Cosmic Divine Light New Era, Level 1, Brain Cell Activation. Receive energy into the brain. Receive first time. Receive second time. Receive third time. Send energy from the brain into the ERC. Send first time. Send second time. Send third time. Continuously maintain and support energy into the ERC. Let the warmth of energy spread on its own until the alarm rings. And time is up. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so now I would like to ask our IT team to please kindly open the chat box or the comment section so that our participants can ask questions. Dạ, em mời IT mở khung chat để cho các học viên có thể đặt câu hỏi nha. All right, so before we answer any question, because we're still waiting for the question to come in, Mr. Selwood, would you like to say a few things to remind our students before
I would indeed, and thank you for that opportunity. I want to remind all the students in this class today is that to practice this, and I want you to practice it later in the day. You know, you probably have all heard the old saying that practice makes perfect, but this makes it perfect too. But the spiritual connection is just wonderful that you will find and be able to change your life as well as the others. So remember to concentrate, to focus, to practice it, and to be kind to yourself and everybody around you. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, so we still are waiting for the questions to come in. But generally, when we have our classes, there are some commonly asked questions. For example, where do I find the formula to practice? Well, that's a great question because, as I shared with you early on, if you go into these groups, and so what you do is you scan these QR code, and once you get into these groups, you will get announcements and posts about NLG, about our event. And on the right-hand side, you can see the Telegram groups for the NLG level 1 and 2. So this is the groups for everyone who speaks English. So once you're in, you can take a photo of this and then you can scan it later on, or you can always come back to this part of the live stream and you can scan it and you get into the group and the formulas will be there for you. Okay. All right. Now, some commonly asked question, if I can just use this opportunity to share with you a little bit, is that, so when I practice the formula, then where should I look? Because my eyes will be open, so where do I look? Mr. Selwood, would you like to elaborate on this?
I would. You know, when I said concentrate and focus as though you were a magnifying glass, well, find an object that you can look at. It can be a spot on the wall. It can be something that is near you, and concentrate on that object. And the reason that you want to concentrate on that object is simply because the concentration on that object clears your minds of distractions and allows the energy to freely flow that you are seeking. And if you practice this, and if you have an object, and like the object can be mostly anything, but try to make sure the object is stationary and not moving. In fact, just a spot on the wall or something like that, very easy for you to just look at and concentrate on it very, very intensely. And as you do, things will start happening for you and for your best good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Selwood, for clarifying that. Okay, and can I just add that the level 1, it's the foundation for you to go up the class level. So it is very, very important. And so please do not skip any session. Please do not skip any levels because here at NLG, we encourage everyone to take the class levels in their sequence. And I can see here that apparently probably everything it's clear for everyone, or probably everyone is still thinking about questions to ask. So just a couple of reminders about the actual formula. So in terms of the brain cell activation formula, you can practice this formula at least once from now until we see each other again tomorrow for session 2, and maximum 3 times. So the reason why we encourage you to practice these formula is that what's special about it is that we give you this opportunity to familiarize yourself with our formula and the ways that they operates. And so do use this opportunity to make the most out of these fast formula. Now, if you find yourself distracted for more than 30 seconds while practicing, please discard that practice session and start a new one. Also be mindful of not to sit in front of a fan or an air conditioner, because when the air blows right at you, it can be very distracting from feeling the energy that you're trying to coordinate in your body. We also recommend that you practice this formula when you feel most comfortable and focused to do so. As I said, try to make the most out of these according to the instruction in the formula, because after you fully completed level 1, you would no longer use this particular formula, that is the brain cells activation formula. So you will have new formulas to practice, which are the stem cells stimulation formula and the self-healing formula. And just a reminder for everyone that level 1 consists of 2 sessions. Today is session 1. So just make sure that you come back tomorrow for session 2 to be fully activated, and only then that you are considered as having completed level 1 fully. And from there, you can use the formulas that we give you to stimulate your stem cells and to do self-healing. Okay, so I have a look and I haven't seen any question here. So I hope that means everyone is clear on how to practice the formula. Now, if you do have any question, remember the groups that I just told you about, the Telegram groups. Make sure that you get on there and you can contact our team and ask question if you need to. So tomorrow's session will start at 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. So please be on time. We will see you there with a lot more interesting content and formula. So I guess, Mr. Selwood, so we'll probably conclude this class here today, given that everyone seems to understand how to approach the formula. So on behalf of our level 1 student, I'd like to thank our NLG founder, Mr. Lei, our instructor, Mr. Selwood, and Ms. Gwyn for devoting their precious time for us. And on behalf of the NLG team, I'd like to thank everyone for your love and support for NLG classes. I hope you take care, and we will see you again tomorrow in session 2.